Back for Scott Olsen, and it's... Oh no! Oh my god, how did we not score there? And welcome back to another episode of Outcast 2 Icons. If you've been enjoying the series up to this point, of course, drop a like on the video. That would be super duper good. Now, before we get into anything else, as it is the start of the week, it is time to thank new patrons. And this week, it is Charles Spencer. So thank you very much, man. That's extremely, really kind of you. And just everybody else over there that's been supporting the channel over the last many, many years now. So thank you so much. Now, I thought we'd start today on the page of Andrea Bianco, basically off of what we saw in the last game. Now, for those of you that maybe missed last night's episode, because I don't know, I heard there was some football match going on. I don't know. Wasn't really paying attention to it personally. But if you didn't, you may want to go back and watch it, or at the very least the second live com of that episode, because it was absolutely mental. But nevertheless, Bianco scored what essentially ended up becoming the winning goal in that game. And it certainly gave me pause for thought, because one of my plans really, given that he'd requested to leave, was that we'd move him on, bring in a new guy that I already had plans for in January on a free transfer, and that would certainly shuffle some money around and help us with FFP. But obviously players like to give me problems like that, such as this guy scoring the winning goal in that game. And it was a brilliant strike. Let's not make any mistake about that. And it certainly made me have to consider the situation as far as the striker goes in the system. But, and this is very key, I don't want to go switching things because of one substitute appearance in one game that then switches the whole tactic around. Because we've done this before, and honestly, I'm extremely happy with the way we're playing right now. Yes, Stibir isn't getting as many goals as I would like, but it's not like he's not getting the chances. He's just not quite finishing them at the moment, and I do feel like he will hopefully come good for us. So it's kind of difficult, particularly with Bianco being left-footed, and we saw the kind of problems we were having with that when we were at Dinamo with the whole Strikic situation. However, something else was posited about the idea of playing Siggy Johnson potentially as the wide playmaker, or certainly trying him out there, because he actually does look quite good in the role. So it's definitely something I want to consider doing. I actually can't remember who we're playing today, so we'll have a look and see who the opposition is, and maybe, just maybe, try out something a little bit different. But at the end of the day, as I always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And right now, we're performing pretty damn well, so it really isn't broken. In other news, Moscatelli, our wonderful goalkeeper, a fan club has now started about the goalkeeper. And I'm, firstly, one of the members. I'm one of 3 members. We call ourselves the 3 Musketeers. Also, apparently Quarto means 4th and not 4, which is a shame. But let's face it, that makes him sound even more royal, and he's been royally excellent this season. Although I'm still not entirely convinced that he isn't a cyborg sent from the future to score goals. Somebody hide John Connor. Right, so away at Genoa, 9th in the league. We're 5th in the league after 12 games. If you said to me we're going to be 5th in the league after 12 games, I would have bitten your hand off. And I won't, don't worry. You know, I've not got rabies or anything, but like, just, you know, be careful. Is it worth trying it out today? Now, Emerson can come back in, which is a good sign. So we're going to just do that first, if nothing else, because that's the only system change my system wants to make. So, the change that was suggested is Siggy Johnson, although Skov Olsen actually played really well in the last game, hilariously. He got 2 goals in that match and actually looked pretty solid. It'd be kind of harsh to drop him after this one. If I'm going to try it, I want to try it in a live com game rather than an off-camera game, because I want you to be able to see how it performs as well. You know what, screw it. We're going to try it today. We're going to move Siggy Johnson to the right. As you can see, he is pretty confident there. And we're going to go with Bianco through the middle. Now, he does have a decent right foot. It's not completely weak or anything like that. I'm just concerned that he may have Strikic issues, if you know what I mean. But I don't think it'll be quite as bad as Strikic. Also, Bianco, once again, another free transfer from Inter. Has anyone else noticed this on their saves about how Inter just release good players constantly? I'm convinced that we're going to be able to get Ivica Hodak off them in a couple of seasons. Not on a free maybe, but on a very reduced rate. So we'll get Constantinu onto the bench instead of maybe Langliotti. I do want to get Volpej back into the team soon, but right now, he's really just under the pressure of the fact that both Milivojev and Uriarte have actually put up some decent numbers in the last 5 games. So I don't want to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know the rules. And Flans will keep his spot in the midfield as well. So that's going to be what we're going to go with for today. My biggest concern about Bianco more than anything is actually that he lacks some of the teamwork and work rate components of that pressing forward role. And I'm worried that he may not be able to play in his teammates and hold the ball up and do the running that Stimir does. And Stimir gets a lot of good rating for doing exactly that. So I'm hoping that Bianco can do a bit of that. But if not, then that might be a problem. Right then, Let's see how Stimir does on the right. If it's one thing we will get out of him on that right-hand side, it is work rate. He is going to run himself ragged in this game. I think the real hope that we might get out of Bianco through the middle is if we were to create some chances that hopefully he can actually maybe be a bit more crucial, a bit more clinical when it comes to actually finishing them. Because that's just been Stimir's problem this season, and it's... Oh, that's a good touch from Rosa. Oh, and now they're in. Fermi, round this right-hand side. Someone has to get across to him. It's a good... Oh, wow. I mean, Matteo Fermi has smashed that one in, and it's Genoa 1, Sassuolo 0 after just 1 minute. I honestly thought that Moscatelli would have been able to keep that out. I think he took... They need to get in on him there. And when they play this ball back, I thought the chance had gone, but it's a great ball through for Fermi. The centre-back very nearly gets back to him, but he just takes it so early. And maybe Moscatelli could do better, but I think he's just caught out. Weirdly, since the goal... They've won one shot, but they've not really done a lot in this game, to be honest. It's been all Sassuolo, but we need to make that pay. Pavlich. Oh, I don't know why he went so high with that. Quarto around the side, though. Marco Quarto, and he's in again. He is in again. 6 goals for the season for Marco Quarto. I don't know how he is so good, but for me, in this save so far, I don't think I've seen a player look any better in that role than him so far. It reminds me of the old days where, I mean, look at this touch, just takes it around the defender, the composure is outrageous and smashes that past the goalkeeper. Genoa 1, Sassuolo 1, and we've deserved that. We've been very good. So half time, literally, they've had nothing since about the 5th minute of this game, and it's been all sass. But we haven't really been fantastic, but we've definitely looked in control as far as creating opportunities. Not superb, but I feel like if we play another second half, we'll probably just stick to 1, then we should be okay, but I'll see. Quarto wins a lot of fouls too. Emerson picks it up nicely. Well played. 65 minutes on the clock, 25 minutes to go. Second half's been pretty much the same as the first one, really. We've just been doing our thing, not really had any massive openings. I've made a switch to bring Skov Olsen back on, just to see if it changes anything about the way we play for the last stages of this game. Quarto. So, it's a nice effort, though, from Constantine. Quarto, again, doing well. If we had to settle for a draw here, it would certainly not be the worst result in the world by any means, given that we've played pretty well, still looked fairly composed on tonight. I think we'd be unlucky not to win, potentially, but at the end of the day, it was a great strike, and it deserved a goal, really. Oh, it's a great ball. Siggy Jonsson's right on the end of it there, but Boom is able to get it. This is looking like... It's got all the hallmarks of a 1-1 draw here, unless we can come up with a late magic to keep ourselves in the hunt for a Champions League spot at the moment. Pavlich. Whip to the back post. Skov Olsen flicks it down. And Kudus! What a block from the defender. Kudus made a great little run and nearly snuck in there. But I don't know if we're done yet, though. Emerson. Maybe a corner? Whips it in. Quarto! Just wide. Or rather, it was going wide, but Boom saves it anyway. Marcus Paolo. Look at the space for Skov Olsen. Where's the run? There's the run. Kudus is through! And it's tipped over the bar by Boom. Wow. Needs to get this in quickly. Milivojev. Back for Skov Olsen. And it's... Oh, no! Oh my god, how did we not score there? Not a good cross from Marcus Paolo, and that will do it. Genoa 1, Sassuolo 1. I think we should have won this game. Just couldn't quite get that cutting edge right at the very end. I think we definitely improved. I don't know, it's hard to say. Some of the passing looked a bit better after Skov Olsen came on. I don't know, it's interesting. But another game, this reminds me a lot of the Empoli one. We should have done better in this game. But nevertheless, a point away at Genoa is certainly not the end of the world. And given how well we defended, it's just a nice sign anyway. Right, I think we're doing Roma next. I think, but I'll check. Right. We're back. We had a cup game against Vicenza. Somehow we don't win the ball off Vito here. It ends up being put through for Palombo in the end, and it was 1-0 to Vicenza after 11 minutes. They're in the second tier. We kind of didn't need this, really, but it was a rotated side for the midweek fixture. Then on 40 minutes, Flans gets the ball out on the wide right here, does quite nicely to hold it up, eventually puts it across, comes to Kudus, and it was 1-1. And we won on penalties on the end. Obviously, not going to show you the penalties, but annoyingly, when you click out of the highlights during a highlight, it then removes this. Kind of annoying, but there you go. We won on pens in the end, which was very, very nice. Strong performance. Can't believe that we actually didn't score more than 1 goal, but hey, we got through. We'll play Milan in the next round, so not ideal. As next up, it was away at Milan. 26 minutes. Eventually, Skov Olsen knocks this ball across, and Flans pulls out a wondrous goal with our first shot of the game after 26 minutes. We were massively on the back foot. Unfortunately, though, on the 55th minute, great header here, in off the crossbar. Milan find a deserved equaliser on the night. But then, in the 90th minute, Pavlich with the ball through for Cabrera. He whips a gorgeous ball in, and who would be there at the back post but Sigurd Jonsson to give us what we thought would be the win, but it wasn't. Almost directly from the kickoff, basically. 91st minute, Volpech puts a tackle in. It comes to Marcus Leonardo, and he drills it home for 2-2. I can't really complain about the result. I honestly think we were lucky to get a point, but the fact that we were that close to getting a win with Siggy Johnson, he had to come off the bench in this game as he was struggling a little bit with fitness levels and whatnot. But he did score a goal, and it was a lovely finish from the lad. And hey, it's earned us a point that I don't think we deserved, so hey, swings and roundabouts. But then it finally happened. Conceição's ball in, Milivojev with a goal from a set piece in this case. And then, moments later, Conceição's ball in, Milivojev again. They're like buses. We wait all season for a free kick or a corner goal, and we get two at once from Milivojev. Unfortunately, then Pavlich made a mistake in the 71st minute, allowing Borussia to dink it over the goalkeeper for 2-1. It gave us a bit of a heart trouble towards the end of this game. But then, Conceição, 88th minute, beautiful free kick, 3-1. All 3 goals came from set pieces in this game. All of them. Milivojev was brilliant. Conceição with a pair of assists and then a goal himself. Just weird, isn't it? I mean, we were definitely the better side. 3-1 obviously, flatters us a little bit. But we finally managed to break through from free kicks. I don't know what was different in this game, to be honest, but we did it. We then went to Fiorentina, 95th minute. Cabrera, Marcos Paulo, puts it around the side. Kudus, 1-0. Absolutely massive victory. Literally, I'd written my notes, because obviously, one extended highlights. The game shows you one last highlight at the end to show the end of the game. And I'd literally written, Del 0-0 against Fiorentina. We just had nothing going forward. And then I just wrote, strike that, we won. I was actually writing us into a 0-0 there when Kudus came up with an absolutely ridiculous winner. But what a moment that was. And that was our last game before the winter break. And I think we needed that winter break. Despite the 2 wins there, you could definitely see some fatigue setting in. People like Pavlich, I think his performances have dropped off a little bit through so many games, to be honest. He was really strong at the start, and he's just not been quite as good. And I do sense that's come down to him just being so tired a lot of the time. And then in our first game back after Christmas, we went away to Bologna, 0-0 draw. Pretty solid performance on the night. Pavlich was suspended for this game anyway. The defenders did a decent job in this one. I've had to rotate some defences around, but again, Milivojev was excellent. Alex Merritt had to come in goal as Moscatelli has the flu. He'll miss the day, today's game against Roma as well. So I would have liked to have won this game, but it was again a strong performance and good signs. And again, like I said, we got the unlikely point against Milan, so it kind of takes it back. Because all of that still leaves us 5th in Serie A. 17 games played, 29 points on the board. Not sitting cushy by any means in that spot, but you can definitely see a pathway now. Like, I feel like top 8 are sort of just about breaking away. Atalanta have really recovered since their early misfortune in the season. Milan have struggled massively really since that result against us, hilariously. Salernitana as well, who will play at the start of the next episode, have had a really strong season upon being promoted. In fact, at one point, they were very close to getting to the top 6, and I think they just seem to have fallen off a little bit there. But the point is, we're being consistent. We're not losing many games. Only 4 defeats in our first 17, and most of those came in it was like a 4 defeats in 6 game spell. But we've been very, very good outside of that, and I think we're very much in the conversation for some kind of Europe at the moment. And speaking of money, oh dearie me. So, the board decided to do a silly. Oh, they decided to do a big silly. And I say that, and I can understand where they're coming from on a certain extent, but it doesn't really change the fact that it's quite frustrating. So essentially, because of the financial situation at the club, we've always kind of been teetering, but I've been trying to just sort of sort things out with the finances, get the dead wood out of the team on the high wages, because we had a lot of them, and one more has left, by the way, and more will probably follow in the summer. But it's going to take a little while. And as a result of that, this is why I think Europe is quite important in the next couple of seasons to get it. Even if it's not this year, next year it'll be useful as well. They decided to cut our wage and transfer budget. Now, the transfer budget was cut from like 1.5 million to 1 million or something, which is it's nothing. It doesn't matter. That's not a big deal. They cut the wage budget from 1.9 million to 1.4 million. Or 1.5 million, basically 1.49 something or other. That's £500,000 in wages that just disappeared off the book sheets, and it left me in a massive hole. Now, we still had like 100k in wages available, but then we went from that to being 200k essentially in the red, because obviously I could move some money around. So that was really, really unfortunate, and it also means that I'm very likely to miss out on that young French striker I was trying to sign on a free transfer. Now, I have managed to rectify it slightly by adjusting our season expectations to top half, which gave us an extra £120,000 in wage budget, so that gets us a little bit closer. And I've also now sold Pessina to China for like 4 million quid, but that gets another 50k off of it. Got our youth intake preview as well. Good group of players, apparently, so that's exciting to know. So today, at home against Roma, we played well against them last season. This is midweek, so the problem is as well with the winter break. Your players come back from it. You're not allowed to do any training during the winter break. There's just no option there. But then they come back with no match sharpness, and then you have to go straight into a match. So that's kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. They've certainly gone a little bit back fairly quickly. I'm going to do a selection advice, but it's really just going to bring Pavlich back in again, who missed the last game through suspension. He is actually on the shortlist, apparently, for the FIFA Men's Under-21 Player of the Year. That is saying something. So yeah, you can see that there's definitely been some drop-off from performance-wise in the last few games, despite us actually not losing in our last 6. Performances haven't been spectacular, but the point is the team is still technically doing fine, and that's really what matters to me right now. Emerson is still just about... He picked up an injury, and he missed a lot of those games in that period, but what I'd say is Constantinu didn't exactly do poorly. Kudos there is Quarto. Quarto is back, and I think I will prefer him over Kudus. The Flans thing, it's so tough to know whether it's Flans or Kudus. Like... They both do well in the role, but Kudus' form has been better lately. So I'm definitely seeing things that I like about the team this season. Obviously, the fact that we're 5th in the league after Christmas is a really strong sign about the progress we've made. But that doesn't mean I don't think things can be improved. And I definitely think there's some more switches in personnel. And this always takes a while, and we're going to get there. But right now, we're playing well, and I'm happy with it. I have sort of high hopes for this. I would like to not lose, really. I think not dropping points to Roma is key, but I just want to see a better performance. We've actually not been that bad lately at all. Cabrera's into the box. Very early days here, but he could be able to whip something in, maybe. Goes short for Conceição. Back for Cabrera. Oh, and that nearly fell. That nearly fell to the right player. We will probably tire towards the end of the season a little bit, and it could well prevent us from finishing perhaps at our very max, but really nice work from Pavlich there. But I still think we're definitely in the hunt for some kind of Europe this season, whether it be Europa Conference League or otherwise, and Conceição with a good effort. That's the one thing he does bring to that Mez role a little bit more. Conceição again gets a shot away. Right, we've looked threatening so far, even if it's only from range. Can he maybe use an overlap? Pavlich, nice play. Quarto. Cabrera, round the side for Sigurdsson. Oh, it's well blocked by the defender. Nice bit of play from us again, though. Quarto brings it away. He's also managed to avoid any major injuries for a little while, too, which has really helped him just get some consistency in the team, and he's bringing that ball out. He's got him into the back post as well. Finds Kudus on his back on his left. Good block. Quarto on the rebound, and it's 1-0 to Sassuolo. Very fortuitous there with the way that it breaks back to Marco Quarto. But yet again, he just keeps on scoring goals. Okay, well, that was weird. Sassuolo 1, Roma 0. Like, it's a lovely little pick out for Kudus, who just holds his run, takes his time about getting onto with the correct foot, but it falls to Quarto, and there's nothing the keeper can do about that, and we have the lead in a huge game. Come on! Nobody's putting in a poor performance for us so far. There's no, nobody's struggling. Everybody's looking like they're gaining rating. They're looking solid. Oh, what a touch from Quarto! Bloody hell, what a little flick that was. Sigurdsson will put it back in, and Quarto's on the end of it again. Skovolsson. Kudus. Here we go. Constantinu on the overlap. There's plenty of options here, and Sigurdsson is one of them, and it's a good block, but this ball is not out of play yet. It's once again blocked. So, half-time, Sassuolo 1, Roma 0. We've barely given them anything in this first half. We lead the game, and I think deservedly so. We're controlling it as well, possession-wise. Exactly what we need. Oh, it's very good to Sigurdsson! Yes! Sorry, I wasn't even paying attention there because the Roma player just had the ball at his feet, and that is some finish. And oh, you have no idea the relief on me right now. So I was just watching Ricci there because, and he's just, oh, not Ricci, Milinkovic just hammers this. Who's he even hammered this at? I don't even know, it might be his own play, but what a finish from Sigurdsson on the right foot there. Sassuolo 2, Roma 0, and we've deserved that, but it's so nice to see him just get a chance, not snatch at it, and hammer that one home. I couldn't have asked for a more deserving... Oh, no, I say deserving. He's continued to put in the hard work, and it's just nice to see him... Oh, Christ. Please don't immediately concede. Ah, good. We've done... Oh, guys, come on, concentration levels. We've let them have nothing in this game, and the moment we get the second goal, we give them an well, not an equaliser, a route back into this almost immediately. That was just bad defending. That's a great run from Milanese, but there's nothing Alex Merritt can do about that, and oh, God. Quarto. To Lombardo now. Whips it to the back post, and Marcus Paolo's in there, and it's just clipped off the crossbar, I think. Merritt's distribution. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad one. Quarto wins the flick on. Sigurdsson's in. He's in. Sigurdsson! Oh, he's missed the target. That was easier than the previous one, I'd say. Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. Somebody played. No! Oh, my God. It's exactly the same as against Benevento. Roma have definitely come onto us in the second half here, but the moment that we took the 2-goal lead, it's just like their heads just went. And they went, oh, no, we've got the game won now. Does that even get... Did he just kick the ball without it being anywhere near him? And Milanese scored another one, and that is just a brilliant effort from the edge of the area. Oh, God. Quarto. He's got lots of bodies out wide. Slips one through. Marcus Paolo! Marcus Paolo! And it's shot wide again. I think that's going to do it. It looks like it is going to be Sassuolo 2, Roma 2. Yeah, just... It's frustrating. It is. But I still think we played pretty well in this game. They've just... The first goal was just... I don't know why there was so much space for him. There just was. But he had to finish it. The second one was actually a very good strike. But... It happens. Like, we were very fortunate to get the draw at Milan, and this is almost the direct reversal of the Milan game. So I don't think we can complain too much. But still, a strong performance from us, and I'm still looking at performances. That's really what I'm paying attention to. There was that Sigurdsson chance as well, where it could have been 3-1 right before that, but he did at least take the chance to give us the lead to in the first place, so I'll take that. But it is still nevertheless disappointing to throw away the 2-goal lead like that. But nevertheless, we remain 5th in the league after 18 games, 30 points on the board. You know, we're looking at a good 60-point season potentially, which is exactly, in fact, that's better than what I was hoping for, to be honest. But it is still very tight. But we still haven't lost since the Napoli game. In fact, we haven't literally lost since that little... The Empoli game was the really dodgy one, but, like, it all evens itself out. We're still exactly where we're expected to be. We're literally 5th and 5th for XG against them away. So it's like we're dead on exactly where we're expected to be. We hopefully have a slightly easier run of games coming up soon. We've got Salernitana, then we've got Crotone, Cagliari are not a bad side, Atalanta, who aren't that bad either. Like, there's a run of winnable games now for us, and I'd like to pick up a few in that period. And we'll have to see, because then it does start to get a little bit tougher with the Lazios, the event, like, you know how it goes. But it always kind of evens itself out again. If you look at the end of the season, really, after the Napoli game, there's definitely some winnable. I think we're in a good spot right now, even if I am disappointed about the result. It's just nice to see us once again look very good. So if you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have, drop a like. That'd be superb. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturday. Follow that soon. New save starting very soon. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, where we'll probably do Salernitana and Sampdoria to get us up to the end of the window, because stuff will be happening, friends. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.